Jagdish Kumar, Chairman, UGC and the Chief Guest, eminent leaders of higher education, very warm greetings to all of you. It is the third such conclave of leaders of universities, state, central, private, that we are hosting in Tamil Nadu. When I came in 2021, later part of it, and as a chancellor, when I started looking at the working of our universities, I was disappointed that our universities were mostly working in isolation. I'm talking about state universities largely. Each university was struggling with its problem. It was setting its standards. And there was a strange lack of communication among these institutions. And that is how the idea of this conclave, that we must have at least once in a year a get-together of all the eminent leaders of higher education, live together, deliberate on issues, exchange your thoughts, learn from each other, because this is how knowledge prospers, we all prosper. I am personally thankful to Professor Jagdish Kumar for his presence and sharing his valuable thoughts, the ideas. In fact, he said he was present twice on 2 occasions. But I think my audience will tell you were present all the 3 times. 2 physically, once you were virtually present. You have been taking interest, coming all the way, interacting with our vice chancellors, being the guardian of standards in the higher education, and being the driver of many of the significant transformations that are happening in our higher education ecosystem. Your presence has been immensely helpful. Friends, this 2 days conclave, the core thrust is on research excellence, innovation and entrepreneurship. We have eminent experts to share their knowledge, their ideas. We have Professor Partha Chakravarti, a former director of IIT Kharagpur and a leading expert. He will be sharing with all of us about research excellence and future of artificial intelligence, an area which we all talk about with a lot of hope and apprehensions, and the area in which there has been so much of revolutionary transformations happening at a speed and a scale unimaginable. It will be good to hear him. We have for startup, for innovation and entrepreneurship, Shruti Kannanji from Cisco, who has been advisor to various initiatives of the government of India, a startup in India and others. She will be sharing with us, which will be very, very valuable to us. We also have Dr. Charan, who would be telling us about universal human values. Plus, we'll have some other speakers. The context has been set in by the chairman UGC. He has touched on all the frontiers, the areas where we need to work, which are very, very pressing need of the hour. I'm sure you would be taking note of it and aligning your university initiative accordingly. Friends, our national education policy, which has been brought out after a lot of churning involving countless number of stakeholders from different disciplines, not only from the academia, from the industry, from the society, from thought leaders from various domains. This is our future. Our country today is at the cusp of transformation. Challenges which are facing the world, they are facing us as well. And they are hurting us in a very major way. We have a problem at almost every dimension. A country which, at the time of independence, despite all the exploitation by the colonial powers, we were the sixth largest economy in the world. In the subsequent over 6 decades, we were reduced to 11th economy. Now, fortunately, with the new initiatives coming, we have become the 5th largest, and we are very hopeful that in the next few years we will be the 3rd. We have lost a lot of time. We have lost a lot of time because we have been following the education system which was largely bequeathed to us by the colonial rulers. Learning the borrowed knowledge. Giving those knowledge to our students, the students with the degrees, they come out and start begging for jobs. Now, if we all say that basic purpose of education is empowerment, a student at whichever stage comes out with a certificate, with a degree, should come out with a confidence to live with dignity. Somehow we missed it and we continued following that tradition. And we reached where we reached. The countries which were far behind, they left us far behind. Now, if we continue like this, we have no future. While we think about the world, which we must think, which we have started thinking because we are like to build ourselves, we have to think about ourselves. So we have to think about ourselves, our country, for the good of the world. We know for a long time, until colonization, India was the largest economy in the world. Not for 100 years, not for 200 years, for over 1800 years of recorded history. We were the largest economy in the world primarily because we were innovative. We were enterprising. Our education system was not the system of rote learning. We all know that in India, we don't have much of gold mines. But India had the largest gold reserve in the world. How? It was because the world was the market for Indian products. Be it iron, be it textile, be it chemicals, be it many, many things. Right from Central Asia, Roman Empire, in the west to China in the east. They were India's market. We were competitive. It was not that the others were not trying, but we were competitive. We were ahead of others. So our products were valued. It is a recorded history that the iron that India produced was the best. And in the old historical literature, Indian iron was called Jawab-e-Hind. When the soldiers, when the armies, they looked for the weapons, the metals, the irons that they used, the Indian iron was the best, was the strongest. We kept improving, innovating. This spirit of innovation, a spirit of research, it was decimated during the colonial period. We have to come out of it. You know, in Bharatiya knowledge system, knowledge is not a static, it is a dynamic. And that is how the thrust has been always on creating new and new knowledge. I am tempted to recall Tiruvalluvar. At the very beginning of the Kalvi section, what does he say? He says, Kark kasdark karpavai katrapin nirak adarkutaga. Kark kasdark karpavai. Learn hard and hard. Break frontiers. Create new knowledge. And Katrapin, having acquired that, Nirak Adarkatak. Live by that. Make that knowledge part of your living. Make that knowledge improve your life. Make you a better human being. It should be able to alleviate or address the challenges of life. That is technology. You know that Tiruvalluvar believed in celebration of life. He was not the one who could have ever advocated idle knowledge for the sake of knowledge. No. Being the one who celebrated life, his message was to create new and new technology to make our life better. And we know that civilization has been, the civilizational journey of humankind has been shaped, its architecture has been shaped by technology. Right from the wheels, to the steam engine, to the internal combustible engine, to telephone, to all these, to the IT, to the digital, and now we are in artificial intelligence. All these have a transformative effect on the whole civilization. Now, in this era, it is important for us that we change over from the old mode of teaching for the sake of teaching, passing on a borrowed knowledge. In fact, our NEP 2020, the essence, the core inspiring principle has been this Kural, which has been the basis of our Bharatiya Gyan Paddhati, our Indian knowledge system, a dynamic, ever evolutionary, ever transformative education system. Our chairman UGC has given you a lot of food for thought. Other speakers also will be sharing their ideas. He talked about institutional development plan. We have a session on that. Because when your institution, you have a plan, the plan cannot be for 5 years, for 10 years. It has to be a long term. For long, we have been thinking on a short term, 5 year, 10 year. It can be a milestone, it cannot be a vision. Vision cannot be for 5 years. Vision cannot be for 10 years. Vision has to be for a longer period. So, how you develop your institution? That's very important. And how to ensure that the students, our young students, those who come out of universities, colleges, they come out equipped with the knowledge, the skill, and the confidence with which they live a life of dignity. They're able to solve the problems of theirs and as well as problems of the larger humanity. That's very important. And I'm sure in the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, you will all be sharing your thoughts, exchanging in the session, at the margin of it. The idea of keeping it for 2 days is essentially to give you some time, though the programs have been back to back, but still, you are all based here. You should be able to exchange your thoughts and ideas, meet each other, and see that the spirit of this conclave to bring together a cooperative ecosystem of higher education where you exchange your ideas, your thoughts, how you have been solving problems, what are you doing, each institution has something unique, some strong point. Each will benefit from the other. You continue with this even beyond. You don't necessarily have to wait for the next. We should not wait for the next annual conference. In any case, we will have the annual conference. But in between, there should be your own meeting at a smaller level and can continue with this spirit of building a new higher education system for a new India. That should be our goal. I wish all of you the very best. Thank you very much once again. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.